All right, so shack fires are becoming prevalent throughout the country as shack settlements grow. As a result, increasing numbers of dwelling units are built using highly flammable substances such as wood, cardboard and plastic, and are built in close proximity to each other. As we approach winter, fires around and informal settlements will be the means of keeping themselves warm. A new organization named Ajuga is helping replace shacks with fire-resistant structures. Now, this initiative ensures that if there is a fire outbreak, most people of the community will be protected. So, all right, let's find out a little bit more about that. We are joined now by Nompikazi Matjila, who is in our Cape Town studios. It's good to have you. Thank you very much for being our guest here on Morning Live.
No problem. Good morning, Leanne. Thank you for having me.
It seems like a long overdue concept, but just talk to me about Ajuga. What led to the birth of it?
No, absolutely. It's been a long time coming. So currently the shack fire crisis, you have figures around with 9 kids dying every day because of shack fires. Some 6,000 people are hospitalized because of it. And so the gentleman I work with at the Cipla Foundation, David Greer, he and another individual came up with a patent to create a fire-resistant structure, which is then named Ajuga. Yeah. So it's essentially used as a potential solution, and a temporary one at that, to place in informal settlement areas where you find that there is an issue that needs to be addressed, and quite urgently as well.
So the building material, how different are they from what, like I said earlier, I mean, what shacks are built of? Basically, they're built of anything that people can get their hands on. So what is it actually made of?
Absolutely. Okay, so Ajuga is made from vermiculite, which is like a mining byproduct, which is then being compressed between 2 boards. Compressed, it's probably like 45 millimeters of thickness. And that's essentially used to create a panel, which then creates, at the moment we've been deploying just under 16 square meter structures in the informal settlement areas. So now what makes it different from your everyday materials is that it is fire resistant, which means it can withstand over 1,200 degrees Celsius. And for over an hour, it can then maintain its integrity. Yeah. So what that essentially means is that in cases of emergency, if you find that the fire strikes out from outside the structure, people within it will then remain safe. And if a fire breaks out from within the structure, it allows the individuals inside enough time to actually vacate the premises without the building collapsing on top of them.
And it's incredible. But what's the cost? What is the cost of something like this?
Sure. Yeah. At the moment, we just recently launched this product or this initiative, and essentially we, at the moment, looking at a 16 square meter structure, which costs roughly 60,000. And we're looking to have that cost reduced quite heavily. We're continuously looking for most innovative and cost-effective ways of creating these structures, and where we then, at the moment, we're focusing our energies and resources towards early childhood development centers. Yeah. A lot of people have come to us asking for it as a potential home, and the minute we go into housing, it gets, it gets somewhat political. And I think for us to just address the most immediate vulnerable individuals in the communities, being the kids, we then have to ensure that early childhood development centers are accredited, in that the structure within which they teach the kids is a very safe and conducive environment.
People or communities that are in desperate need of these replacement shacks, how does it work? Do they have to pay a fee? Is it open to all people of informal settlements? Just talk me through this.
Sure. Well, how we've started, as I mentioned, working towards early childhood development centers, is that we partner with credible NGOs. Yeah. So you find them working already with these creches and have already identified those who are most in need. So that allows us then, we just come in to provide that infrastructure and then have them deployed wherever the site has been identified. Okay. And, in terms of the housing or, individuals who want to find out how can they purchase a structure, that we're looking to get to that level, in the very near future, because resources are somewhat limited. So if NGOs would then identify those sites, it's done for them. Housing will get there eventually. I think let's just make sure the kids are safe and, it's definitely an option and a possibility. And for that, we need to work with the state, who would then help us towards that housing solution.
I need to bring you back. We need to talk more about this because I think it's a fabulous idea. Nompikazi Matjila talking to us about this project, Ajuga, and I think that this could be a great solution for South Africa's problems in terms of the informal housings and those dying in shack fires and every other dangerous way.
Great.
Thank
How was
you.
that?
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us here on the program. All right, well, that's